is the final curtain call.
His last night was spent on stage. And I said, all right, love you. He goes, love you more. See you tomorrow. And then tomorrow. Never changed.
We have a gentleman here that needs help and he's not breathing.
Right then, I knew something was terribly wrong. I said, Janet, is he dead? And she said, but he's gone. Do you think there was some sort of conspiracy to kill your brother? Absolutely.
I didn't kill him.
It was possible that Michael had been using this anesthetic drug maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Elvis was huge, but Michael went around the world. He was off the planet. Tonight, a behind-the-scenes look into the final days of Michael Jackson. As the sun rose above the exclusive Los Angeles hills, inside Michael Jackson's mansion, the entertainer began the morning of June 24th, 2009, doing what he loved, preparing for a show. Now do it slow. Got it. He and I would start about noon or 1 o'clock at his home. We dance a few hours and stretch. You have to have a full attitude. You have a half attitude. Do the full. Travis Payne was Michael Jackson's longtime choreographer. We were, on a journey with Michael that was going to return him to the stage, that he loved so much. And I know that we were 8 days away from leaving for London. The stage is where Michael was most at ease. On stage, there was no one better. Since age 5, he'd electrified audiences around the world with hit songs like I Want You Back. And the world appeared ready to welcome him back. It had been 12 years since Jackson's last major performance. The king of pop was poised to regain his throne.
This is it. I mean, this is really it. This is the final curtain call.
According to the contract with concert promoters AEG, Michael was to perform 50 concerts at the O2 Center in London over a 9-month period.
I'll be performing the songs my fans want to hear.
But was Michael physically up to the challenge? Both Michael and AEG had a lot on the line. It was his comeback. It was his renaissance, his rebirth on stage. After so many years of being out of the spotlight, a lot of people were wondering if he could pull this off.
This is it, and see you in July.
But there were questions about whether Jackson was ready. Kenny Ortega, the director for This Is It, called a private meeting at Jackson's home. AEG's CEO, Randy Phillips, attended the meeting.
Kenny was concerned that he wasn't coming to enough rehearsals, that he was taking it a little too nonchalantly. And Michael explained that he needed Kenny to build the house, and then he would come in and paint the front door.
However, Brian Oxman, attorney for Michael's father, Joe Jackson, claims AEG had deeper concerns about the entertainment.
He was too sleepy. He was taking medications which made him tired and unable to perform, and that unless he got his act together, the producers, the promoters were going to pull the plug on the concert series.
On the afternoon of June 24th, Jackson arrived at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Rehearsals for This Is It often ran late into the night. On the surface, the man many say was born to perform never looked better. Was his voice getting stronger over a period of rehearsal?
Absolutely.
Was his dancing getting stronger?
Absolutely.
His body, everything?
Absolutely.
Michael Bearden, the musical director for This Is It, was on stage that last night.
He looked back at me, after we did one number, and he looked at me as if to say, yeah, I'm Michael Jackson, I got this. He looked really good, and I tease some of the dancers when I see them, because MJ was 50 years old, and they're like half his age, and he still was wearing them out.
On stage, always a perfectionist. Off stage, a legend with a sense of humor.
He's making big money decisions, and then he would lean over to me and just say silly stuff like, "What's your favorite Three Stooges?" And I'll go, "What, MJ? Oh no, I don't like that. Yeah, can I have more of this on this? Oh, that's it. I like all."
But beneath the surface, concerns from the very moment the concert tour was announced. Jackson was pushing himself to the brink.
I think, how's he going to do these shows?
Record producer Rodney Jerkins.
50 dates at 50 years old? That's a lot of dates. And I was, and I kept saying, I just hope he gets a physical trainer, someone to really work him out, to make sure he's healthy and prepared.
Jermaine Jackson says his little brother was ready.
I mean, he could have did 200 shows there.
I sat down with Jermaine following band rehearsals for an upcoming tour to Gambia.
I felt that he could do it because of the way the shows were spaced out, and it wasn't like every day. See, like when we first started, we were doing one-nighters where you go every day you're in a different place. You're riding a bus and you're sleeping on top of each other. That's tough. But this was and you didn't have to take the stage down. You were in one location.
I think that night he finally accepted down deep in whatever the inner reaches of an artist's soul are, that he could do this.
Was anything out of the ordinary that night?
The only thing that might have been out of the ordinary is that Michael had a serious glow on him that night. You could see his confidence growing, and he could see physically he was able to do the things that he wanted to do.
We were walking to our cars, and he put his arm around me at the Staples Center, and he said, "Thank you for getting me here. Now I know I can do it and take it from here."
Hold for applause, slow umbrella fade out.
Jackson left the Staples Center around midnight and headed to his rented mansion in the posh LA neighborhood of Holmby Hills. Just 12 hours later, however, nothing would ever be the same. Coming up,
Your mom said, "Get down here, it doesn't look good."
the tragic news no family wants to hear.
I said, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?"